morbidly obese woman, that she has an affirmation of, I'm a lean, mean fighting machine. And then her mind says, no, you're not, right? Kicks it right out because it's too far-fetched, too hard to believe. But let's just say she's eating a little bit better than she used to be. It's very realistic for her to say, I'm eating better every day, right? So what she can do is insist on every time she says, I'm so fat, which she's saying, that is the underlying program that's being repeated all day long. If she insists on, and usually it's helpful to wear a rubber band also, and to snap the band when she catches herself, she'll catch herself a fraction of the time. But if she catches herself, snap the band, not to hurt her, but simply just to remind her, or rub the band, whatever works for you, to just say, okay, what was that bridge again? What do I say? Oh yeah, I'm eating healthier every day. And as she commits to that, what she's going to do is the old I'm so fat belief loses its charge as this new belief of I'm eating healthier every day takes over. And then what happens is she's actually creating a new neural connection, brain connection here, where that becomes the new belief when she says it often enough. And then once that belief is firm and solid and laid down, she does believe, yeah, I am eating healthier every day. And then she can create another bridge working her towards something that, her goal, whatever that goal is. So the bridges are really, really helpful. But they're helpful if they create a bridge that really, really works for them, and then they do it. So what I always have them do, the way I have them do this is, and it's right here for you as well, there are spaces where it's I'm so, I can't, I'll never. And I have them brainstorm, just do a brain dump of every belief that shows up for them, because these are the subconscious beliefs that have been holding them back for however long, could be their whole life. And they may see like, I'm so fat, or I can't have a healthy relationship, or I'll never get out of debt, or I'll never heal from this betrayal, whatever it is. And once you see, or once they have really written down all of their beliefs, because these are their beliefs, then what I have them do is go back and mark the top 3 that give them the most emotional charge, the ones that are really bogging them down the most. And usually there's at least one that's really getting in the way. Once you do that, once they find that, then what I have them do is create the bridge from there. So let's just say the biggest obstacle is I'm so lazy. They were always told they were lazy, and then they picked that up and they believe they're lazy. Well, then the bridge may be, what if I'm not so lazy? Because to say I have all the energy in the world, it may not be a fit, right? So the mind's just going to kick it right out. So instead, what if I'm not so lazy? Sometimes just inserting that possibility is so helpful. And then every time they say, I can't do that, I'm so lazy, you can say, what if I'm not so lazy? What if I'm not so lazy? What if I'm not so lazy? And that, just by doing that, they've inserted that possibility. And from there, that becomes over time the new belief. So I have them work on that one belief until they see, well, you know what? I really am grabbing a hold of that, and that makes sense. And once they've done that, then let them go back and try another belief. But it's powerful. I mean, I've seen that this works for a few reasons. Number one, it's showing them how they can take back control. They're doing something that it seems insignificant, but it's really not. It's showing them that they're taking their power back. They have ownership of their mind, and their mind is so incredibly powerful. As it's able to create symptoms, illness, condition, disease, it's able to create health, wellness, and a wonderful belief system that truly serves them. But they can't do that if they're not aware of all of that. So they may feel, well, you know what? To overhaul my entire mind is just this huge thing. But what if I just, recreate one new belief and try to grab hold onto something so much more positive? And then they do. And what that does is it serves as a stepping stone, because then they say, well, if I did this, what if I, maybe I could try that? I could try that next belief. What if? So it's sending them, when you look at this spiral, they've been on this spiral of just negativity and pulling them down into this really negative place. And what this does is start getting the cycle going of bringing them into a much more powerful place. So I found it really helpful, and I found people really enjoy that. So the next The next experiential activity, which you may want to do with your client or patient, it's a visioning activity. And I have this in my book, The Unshakable Woman. I believe in the workbook too. It's powerful. So I include it in the program as well. And this has been an absolute game changer with people because what they're able to do, if they play full out and they do this, they will see the highest and best version of them. You know, and I always create this really calm environment before I walk them through this. I guess it's sort of a meditation. It's this visioning activity. And from that space, they may see one version of themselves. They may see two. You know, in a circumstance, I remember someone saw three. They saw like a personal, a professional, and like a family one, a different one, whatever. And that's fine. That's fine. But if they don't see anything, maybe revisit it another time. But what I love so much about this activity is they will see who they are without their beliefs, without their limitations, without all their old rules in the way. And then the beauty of this is once they see who they are at their physical, mental, and emotional best, that's their bullseye. So then what they can do is they can track back. It's like in order for them to see, like let's say they saw themselves wearing a beautiful outfit, standing on the stage, looking a certain way, even having a certain haircut. Well, in order for them to look like that or have that or be that, what do they have to do? They had to start somewhere. So if they saw themselves with a beautiful haircut and color, well, you know what? Maybe they can do that now. Get that haircut and color. If they saw that they were wearing a certain thing, well, you know what? Start looking for that outfit. And what this does is it instead of this, you know, well, I have this sort of fuzzy idea of what I want. Now they have this absolute bullseye. And what I do to take it a step further is have them name who that version of themselves would be. Is that ultimate, insert name? Is that a different name altogether? I've had people go by when they had a really powerful, let's say in their 20s or something, and they called themselves by their middle name or whatever it was, well, then they go by that name or their full name or their nickname, whatever it is. And it's really exciting because so often I'll do this with people and then they'll achieve it and they can't believe it. I mean, they remember when we did this activity together and then here they are experiencing that. And what we've done is we have saved so much time because there was their bullseye, and instead of doing all this, they just go right for it. And then what do? You do it again, or you have them do it again. And we're always growing. So it's the kind of thing you've achieved what you saw in your vision. Beautiful. Do it again. What's the next version of you? Oh, what does that look like? Right? So, and then all these questions you can ask them so they really get clear on what they see. I usually have them have a pen and paper handy, and when I bring them out of the visualization, give them some time just to write down exactly what they saw. But these are detailed questions that you just may want to ask them. And there are a bunch. So they may want to do that. And just a whole bunch of questions. Okay. And that's that. And then I also, you know, triggers are so common in betrayal. So what I also included in this module is understanding their triggers because they're ready to really understand them now. You know, they've hopefully gotten out of that panic stage and they're more willing to just understand what's going on right here. So I talk a little bit about, you know, what triggers are, what they do, and just understanding them. So then I'm asking them, and it's a way for them to get really clear because if they're walking around with a sense of anxiety and just such discomfort when they pass a certain thing or hear a certain thing or see a certain person, whatever it is, they should know. And what's so painful about triggers is it brings you right back to such a painful experience. And let's say like with PTSD symptoms, it's not that you're just thinking about the experience. Your body is acting as if it's right back there. So cognitively, you know, well, it's not, but your body is behaving as if it is. So it's so hard to manage. But when they understand it, they're moving towards a way out. So, here I'm just asking them, what are your triggers?